Oh! I saw Mosef's head get taken clean off. Hello, I am Examo Games and tonight is Horde Night. It's the 4th so far in the series on day 28 here, so I thought I'd do another tips video for Horde Night specifically. Just like the general tips video, I'll break this down into 3 sections. 1. Base building. 2. Items for Horde Night. 3. Traps and turrets. Then we'll run the fight itself and see how this all performs. There will be some entry level advice to start with for you newer players, as well as some more advanced stuff for experienced players who are a bit further along. We should hopefully tonight see a few more radiateds and maybe even demolishers so that it's a well-rounded and tough experience. Base building. You may have seen in the last tips video I did some building already. I'm bringing back the bases from the first 3 Horde Nights so they can be tested all together against a tougher crowd. They're all really small, but they should do well enough. Unless I blow up a couple of demolishers. They aren't too demanding on wood, cobblestone and concrete as well, which allows me to throw these together in a single day as opposed to one large mega base. It's my nightmare zombie playground. 1. Make the zombies work for it. I prefer a big blocky staircase that the zombies have to jump up one at a time rather than straight stairs, especially where I can get the drop on them. You want zombies to work to get to you, and if you can do that so in a way that allows you to melee or shoot them on the way, that's even better. It breaks up the crowd and slows all of them coming at once. 2. Load-bearing blocks are a danger. You want to be wary of load-bearing blocks, which are blocks holding up a certain area of your base as a support column. It's always a good idea to have thicker support columns, and never prop up an area by a single block, which if gets destroyed, the rest of the base comes tumbling down. 3. Scaffolding bars are king. Use scaffolding instead of bars, as you can melee through them. It also blocks cops spit, whereas the regular bars allows cops to spit through them. You just need to be a bit careful where you swing and shoot, as you can quite easily hit scaffolding bars, which I tend to do a lot. 4. Manage your building resources. Something I haven't done all that well in honesty is managing resources. You want to avoid running out mid-build and then having to run somewhere to collect more. It's time consuming if you're building a base late like I am, and it's why I dedicate a full day to the build to make sure I don't run out of time while I'm still preparing for Horde Night. Weapons and supplies for Horde Night. 1. Explosive arrows. First up, I'm making a crossbow, so both bows have exploding arrows and I can switch between them easy and make use of all the ammo I've found. I'd recommend the same if you found explosive arrows and bolts. They're really quite strong for slowing down a horde. 2. Grenades and molotovs. I've got plenty of grenades and other explosives here to use, so I'm more than prepared there, as you should do too. Just like explosive arrows, they don't just kill zombies, but also stagger, knock them down, and even blow off limbs. They're not a big danger at all to blocks, so you can really do some work slowing zombies down, combining block staircases with explosives. A trap or 2 as well, and you're cruising. 3. Guns. I'll be bringing both the tactical assault rifle as well as the M60. They're not my primary method of killing zombies, but they mostly help with cops, birds, and zombies that are just out of reach. 4. Traps. I've got electric fence posts, blade traps and the SMG turret, which will do a lot of the work for me tonight. I'll run these as their own section so I can explain in a bit more depth each one. Traps and turrets. 1. Power output. When I set up the generator to my traps, I need to bear in mind the power output. With the generator, you need engines, of which I can add up to 6, so the more engines, the greater the power output I can put. 2. Electric fence posts. I think I'll put these around the ground base. It's definitely more risky because I'm fighting the zombies straight from the ground, so I have no elevated advantage like the other 2. I'll then do a 4th pair at the bottom of this base's stairs. These are fantastic at keeping zombies in place as they both stun zombies, locking them in place, and do chip damage too. 3. Blade traps. Admittedly, this design doesn't really support blade traps all that well, but they can still be plenty helpful. So I'm just going to kind of dot these around here and there as the Horde Night comes running from different directions. Maybe a bit of a waste, but oh well, we'll get more soon enough. I don't think they're all that great. The chip damage is really good and they sever zombie limbs really well, but I wouldn't make them. They're expensive, costing 15 forged iron and 15 forged steel each. And I think the other traps do better because blade traps don't stagger or stun zombies. But they often come in care package drops if you're playing with those, so make use of what you're gifted if anything. 4. Turrets. My SMG turret doesn't have an obvious place, so I'll put it here facing the stairs of the 3rd base. You want it strategically placed so that the zombies just get peppered, ideally in a place that you can reload it if you run out during the night. Maybe even a chest would be a good idea next to it with additional ammo in case you need that and don't want to carry it. I'd avoid using the same ammo from guns you're using and turrets, as if you need them a lot, they're really going to be a drain and you might run out. 5. Dart traps and trigger plates. One thing I don't have is dart traps, which can be combined with the trigger plate so that when a zombie steps on the plate, the dart trap starts firing. These are a little akin to blade traps though. They do minimal chip damage, fire in a single direction, and don't stagger or stun zombies, so don't bother making them and just use the ones you're gifted. I've not got any yet, hence why I'm not using them. 6. Barbed wire. Don't underestimate these. At the least, they really slow zombies down and stagger them. Placing them on stairs and around the bottom of your base is a good idea, just to do chip damage to their health and give you a chance to pick them off. They're cheap to make, just iron and wood, so you can make plenty. Even wood spikes are decent if you don't have iron to spare. The iron spikes are an upgrade, but they're more costly, so I think barbed wire is the sweet spot. 7. Sledge turret. Sledge turret I'm putting in a slightly different position from the last Horde Night as I placed it poorly then. This new position should be much stronger, right at the top of the stairs to bash them back down to the bottom. It's a good idea as this forces the zombies that are knocked down to then loop back around. It's all about thinning and slowing down the horde to give yourself breathing room. If you keep the zombies looping back around to keep getting hit by traps, it almost becomes an AFK base. The junkie turret isn't bad either, the projectile shots are nice, but it eats a lot of ammo and is more just an extra pair of hands to shoot the zombies. I definitely prefer sledge as it can be used more strategically. If you have the perk points, you can run 2 or even one of each as well. If I had to give one overall tip for traps and turrets, it's really thinking about how they help slow down a horde. Some of the horde die to traps, but most push through. Of course, if you put points into intellect and trap perks, you'll do better here. So, stun and stagger over sheer damage and kills. It's your job to do the killing. I think I've got everything I need. I've got my 2 weapons for explosives. I've got my 2 machine guns with a shitload of ammo. I have cobblestone rocks and concrete mix to repair with. I've got plenty of explosives with my arrows, food and water, repair kits, medicine. There's not really much else I need. I could take the fort bites. I thought about it. Damage mitigation's quite good. I probably could bring it in all honesty. But I thought, you know what, Grandpa's Moonshine has got 400% melee damage. That might just be a little bit better. Skull Crush is another one I thought about, but again, kind of don't really need it. Actually, you know what? Grandpa's Moonshine only lasts a minute. Let's take Skull Crushers. And then I think for the final spot, we'll probably take a Mega Crush, you know, just in case it gets to that point. Yeah, we're just about good. So we've got the Horde base from Night 7. So we'll start here. This was the same concept as early on. Then once that sort of goes to shit, we will jump across here. I can then come down in here, do a little bit of melee in here, fight them in here. And then if they put up the fight I'm hoping that they're going to put up, then we can run round to this final base and fight them from here. Now I'm hoping that the zombies just put up a decent enough fight. Last couple of Horde Nights have been a little bit maybe underwhelming, a little bit easier than they should be. So let's give this a go. My base is glaringly neglected in terms of birds, but you know what? I'm willing to take that chance. Okay, first up, hello. See here about slowing zombies down? They're slow to climb, plus the barbed wire staggers them. Ooh. Uh-oh! We have demolishers. Yep, I was wondering how far we were into the end game. I think at that point, if demolishers are turning up, we can officially classify this as the end game. Now, I'd rather not upset him. If I can avoid doing that, that'll be good. Because my base is quite thin. No, die. God. Top 10 most scary sounds in video games is that demolisher bomb ticking off. Yeah, I'm not equipped to fight demolishers. Still no birds though. See, now that we are in said, oops, ow, I promise you I pressed spacebar and the game fucking didn't jump. That is bullshit. Is that a bird I see? It is. Surely one demolisher is not all I'm getting, right? Let's go see the last one. So I got the auto turret set up. I've got sledge set up. Honestly and truly, I probably don't need to do anything from here. My god, that is so loud. Oh, kill big mama zombies. They can't really get up to me, can they? See ya. Oh, I saw Mosev's head get taken clean off. Let's mix it up and go back to the first one. I completely forgot to take my learning elixir. Oh shit. These guys are kind of clever. They kind of bored me into submission, like I was just standing there kind of just contemplating life and sort of like, you know, thinking about the wasteland, and they pulled a sneaky on me. Unlucky for them, I have several bases. Did you eat all your ammo? Yeah, you did. You ate 900 bullets. All right, fine, fair enough. All right, guys, shut up. Well, there you go. That's that. Another resounding success. This held up really well. Even these fence posts, like, really stood their ground and did well. The blade traps didn't take too much damage. This one did a bit of work. This one did a bit of work. They survived pretty well. This was all fine. There's still a whole bunch of traps up here that didn't get hit. These blocks were all great. Just with a gun constantly shooting them, the electricity probably just holding them in place. As you saw, anybody that got high enough just got slammed. Oh, a level 6 steel axe. So I hope all my tips proved useful and the evidence of the Horde Night supported that. I will be upping the number of zombies per wave on Horde Night, so it's a bit more of a challenge for me as we're currently on default settings with warrior difficulty. I've purposely avoided cheese or AFK bases. It just wouldn't make for interesting content if I gave all these tips and advice just to cheese it afterwards, but I'd love to hear in the comments of your own little methods of handling Horde Night. I haven't covered absolutely everything, I've just focused more on what I have accumulated so far on this save. I'd also like to know what areas you'd like to see me cover with more tips and guides. I've got a couple of ideas like weapon rankings and covering armors, so let me know. I only got 1 point last night. Alright, let's do siphoning strikes. I guess I watched the sunset on a grateful universe. It's a privilege and joy to create content for you all. Thank you for the support, always. The channel's growing nicely now. I'm almost at 500 subscribers, where I can then apply for YouTube partnership. So I appreciate you helping make that a reality. If you'd like to see more, I recently did a 20 top tips for gameplay. Similar to this, just focused on everyday play as opposed to this focus on Horde Night, and I'll continue to make more as part of the series whatever happens. I'd recommend giving the playlist a watch.